First, let's establish what a business day means in the banking world, because this term is absolutely central to understanding deposit holds. For Huntington Bank, a business day is generally any day except Saturdays, Sundays, and federal holidays. If you make a deposit on a non-business day or after the cutoff time on a business day, it's typically considered deposited on the next business day. This is crucial for calculating when your funds will become available. For example, if you deposit a check on a Saturday, it will be treated as if you deposited it on the following Monday, assuming Monday isn't a holiday. Now, let's talk about the different types of deposits and their typical availability. Cash deposits. This is usually the quickest way to get your money. If you deposit cash at a Huntington branch or ATM, the entire amount is generally available on the same business day you make the deposit. This makes sense as cash is already a verified form of tender. Electronic deposits. Think direct deposits from your employer, Social Security benefits, or wire transfers. These types of deposits are also typically available relatively quickly. For most electronic deposits, the entire amount is available on the same business day Huntington receives the transfer. This is because electronic transfers are generally very reliable, and funds are typically confirmed much faster than paper checks. Check deposits. This is where things get a bit more complex, as check holds are the most common reason for delayed availability. Huntington, like all banks, needs to ensure the check will actually clear the issuing bank before making the funds fully available to you. There are a couple of key distinctions for check deposits based on your relationship with Huntington. For accounts open for more than 30 days, if you're an established Huntington customer, generally, the entire amount of your check deposits will be available on the first business day after the business day of your deposit. This is a pretty standard time frame for most established accounts. For accounts open for 30 days or less, new accounts often have slightly longer hold periods due to the higher risk associated with them. For check deposits into new accounts, typically up to $500 of the funds will be available on the first business day after the business day of your deposit. The remainder of the funds from that check deposit will then usually become available on the second business day after the business day of your deposit. So for a new account, a $1,000 check deposit would likely see $500 available on day 1 after deposit day, and the remaining $500 available on day 2. Special circumstances for quicker access, instant access, and early pay. Huntington Bank does offer some features that can help you get access to your funds even faster. Instant access for check deposits, up to $500. This is a fantastic perk for eligible Huntington customers. If you have a consumer or business checking, savings, or money market account that has been open for more than 30 days, and your account isn't overdrawn, you may be eligible for immediate access to up to $500 of your total check deposits made in a single day. This applies whether you deposit at a branch, ATM, or via the Huntington mobile app. If your check deposit is less than $500, the full amount will be immediately available. If it's more, the first $500 is instant, and the rest follows the standard availability schedule, usually the next business day. This can be incredibly helpful for covering immediate expenses. Early pay. This isn't specifically a deposit hold policy, but it's worth mentioning because it provides earlier access to funds. If you have a Huntington checking account with direct deposit, you could potentially get your pay up to 2 days early. This happens when Huntington receives your direct deposit information from your employer before your official payday. It's not a loan, just earlier access to your own money. When longer delays might apply. While the above are the general rules, there are certain situations where Huntington Bank might place a longer hold on your deposit. These longer delays are permitted by federal regulations to protect banks from potential losses. Huntington will notify you if a longer hold is being placed and when you can expect the funds to be available. Common reasons for extended holds include large deposits. If the total amount of checks deposited in one day is exceptionally large, over a certain threshold, which can vary, but is often around $5,525, a portion of the deposit might be subject to a longer hold. Repeated overdrafts. If your account has been repeatedly overdrawn in the past, the bank may exercise more caution with new deposits. Checks that are redeposited. If a check was previously returned unpaid and then redeposited, it's a red flag for the bank. Doubt about collectability. If Huntington has reason to believe that the check will not be paid by the bank it's drawn on, they can place a longer hold. This could be due to suspicious characteristics of the check or the account it's drawn on. Emergency conditions. In rare cases, if there's an emergency like a failure of communication or computer equipment, deposit availability might be delayed. The maximum length for these extended holds generally won't exceed 7 business days from the business day of your deposit. However, it's crucial to remember that if any of these circumstances apply, Huntington will inform you of the delay and the specific date your funds will become available. How to check your funds availability. Huntington Bank provides several ways to check the status of your deposits and when your funds will be available. Online banking and mobile app. Your online banking portal and mobile app are usually the easiest ways to monitor your account balances, including your available balance, which reflects funds you can immediately use. Deposit receipts. When you make a deposit, especially at an ATM, the receipt will often indicate the amount immediately available and the date the remaining funds will clear. Contact customer service. If you have any doubts or need a specific clarification, don't hesitate to call Huntington's customer service or visit a branch. They can provide you with the most accurate and up-to-date information on your specific deposit. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.